It's the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia, with your host, Bob Snap.
Hi guys, welcome to the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Today's video is on your questions that have been sent or left in the comment section. Before we get started on them, I want you to know, put your questions in now for the next one, and I'll be watching for them and writing them down and trying to find answers for them. I'm not going to be able to find answers for every one of them. Some of them are pretty tough. I mean, there just aren't answers for some of them. It's just the way the show was done. But I'll do my best. Let's get started. First question's from Steve. Why were Andy and Barney mentioned as cousins in the first episode and never mentioned as cousins again? They were actually, there was little comments within the first three, no, it wasn't even the first three, it was 3 episodes of the first season that they were mentioned as cousins, and then it was kind of dropped. I think, originally, because I couldn't find any reasoning behind it, except for just the things I read before. And I believe that originally when Andy said, I never thought my cousin would make this good a deputy, I think that was made for the joke. And the Andy Griffith Show was never good at continuity. I mean, as far as like people's names, Clara had 3 different names. Goober was a Beasley and a Pyle, and so forth and so on. So it had a lot to do with continuity, I'd say. It's a good question, by the way. Then somebody asked, and I couldn't get a name because I won't put your ID down if it just sounds too weird to me, and I'm not sure if I'm saying it right or whatever, and I couldn't get a name for him. But the question was, why did Barney just disappear from the show? As not getting a send-off or anything. Okay, I've done this before too. Andy said after 5 years of the show, he was going to call it quits. So Don took him at his word. And so as soon as those 5 years was coming up, Don started looking for work, and he signed a deal with Universal, I believe it was, for movies. And by the time Andy decided to stay, Don had already made a commitment to do movies. And there was no way to really do with him going off to do the movie, was no way of doing a episode with him leaving. So it just chalk it up to miscommunication, which is kind of sad with something that big, but that's the way it was. Vicky, why did Barney and Thelma Lou break up? Pretty much the same thing. Don left. Don Knotts left the show, so Barney left. Now they offered Betty Lynn, who played Thelma Lou, they offered her a gig to stay on as Thelma Lou and own a salon, be kind of like Floyd's Barbershop for women. But she didn't like the idea of Thelma Lou without Barney, so she left. And plus the storyline with Barney coming back in guest spots, that just didn't fit with him being boyfriend, girlfriend with Thelma Lou. And plus the one guest spot that he had when she came back and she was married made for a really good storyline as well. So and just chalk that up to Don Knotts leaving again. Marlene, how many characters did Ernest T play? Okay, Ernest T was played by Howard Morris. He played Ernest T Bass, of course, for 5 episodes. He played George, the TV repairman, in 1 episode, and that was Andy and Helen's Day Off. He was a radio announcer on a few of them, and he played Leonard Blush, the singer on the radio. He also directed several of the episodes. Thank you for that question. Debbie, was Don Knotts singing as bad as Barney's? No, Don Knotts was a really good singer. He really was. And you could tell how good a singer he was by the way he was able to act. Actually, you tell how good an actor he was by the way he sang on the Andy Griffith Show. But if you notice, there were episodes where he harmonized with Andy real good on there. Matter of fact, Andy himself said Don Knotts has a beautiful tenor voice. Roger. Thousands of people share your love of tags. What made you decide to take to having a YouTube channel? And are you satisfied with the results with all the time it takes to do the shows? Okay, I love the show. I absolutely love the show. I'll tell you, I was in a band, and there was 3 of us in the band who were Andy Griffith freaks. I'll just give you the first names. There was me, a guy named Jeff, and a guy named Greg. And when we got done playing of the night, when we was tearing all the equipment down and loading up and everything, the whole conversation, nothing else but Andy. And we would talk about the same things week after week after week after week, but it was still just as funny to us. That's how big a fan I am. And that's big they were too. And I just kind of wanted to share that love of the show with other people, and maybe introduce some people to it, and maybe introduce people to what it was, simpler times. A place where, you could escape to. I want this to be a place you can escape to. I know it's only lasts a few minutes, but there's the comment section, and you guys can talk, and I can talk with you, and you can talk with each other, and make it a small community of our own. Or you get away from the world's craziness, and Lord knows the world is crazy right now. I do appreciate that question. Really do. Mimi, this is a really good question I never really thought of. Was Aunt B married to Andy's uncle, or was she his dad's sister? She always had a wedding ring on her finger. Okay. Andy tells Opie in an episode that Aunt B raised him, and then through other episodes he had mentioned that she had raised other Taylors. And in other episodes, it was also mentioned that she was never married, so she was a Taylor through blood. She was not married to his uncle, but she was his aunt. Very good question. And that took some research. Let's see. Got 2 more. Christy, what happened to Opie's mother? Okay, she died when Opie was a baby. It was mentioned in the pilot episode on the Danny Thomas show that Andy lost Opie's mom when he was the least speck of a baby. And that's the only information they ever gave on his mother, really. So she had passed away for some reason of something, maybe even in childbirth. I have no idea. But it was when he was a baby. And last but not least, and I'm told you I'm going to be honest with these things, and this was a real good question. Mike, where'd the name Barney Fife come from? I could not find an answer. I think it was just something they came up with, whereas a lot of the names on the show had to do with like cities in South Carolina, North Carolina. But I just think I don't know, they picked it up out of the air, or they just ain't talking. I don't know. But that's all I have for you this time. Again, if you've got questions, leave your questions down below in the comments section. As somebody asked earlier, where to email or whatever. You can email if you want. If you have my email address, that's cool. But I prefer you put it in the comment section below. So I don't check the emails every day, and I do check the comment section every day. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you shoot some more questions my way. Classic TV Facts and Trivia, Beverly Hillbillies Facts and Trivia, off on the weekend. Be back on Monday. Classic rock and country music facts and trivia. Today's video is on Toby Keith. He won a People's Choice Country Music Award last night, and it's on his speech, and there's pictures of it and stuff, and how he's progressing with his stomach cancer and all. So if you guys check that out, I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day. God bless you, and I'm praying for you.